Welcome to the 7 Shifts audio series. Audio series is an oral version of 7 Shifts blog posts, created to help restaurant owners and operators learn new ways to simplify their lives. From labor management to operations to marketing and everything in between, the 7 Shifts blog has you covered.
Hello, and welcome to 7 Shifts audio series. Simple, smart ideas for restaurant workers, owners, and operators to grow their businesses and to make their lives easier. 7 Shifts is scheduling software made to simplify labor management, one shift at a time. We help restaurants improve performance, freeing up time for managers to focus on serving their customers. Today, we're going to talk about managing your restaurant's utilities, which is a key component to controlling your overall expenses and to protecting your bottom line. If you're a restaurateur or restaurant operator and you're not paying attention to your gas, electric, and water bills, you should be. As you can imagine, on top of the major restaurant costs, including food and labor, equipment, and a POS system, restaurants spend a lot of money on utilities. In fact, food service businesses use an average of 38 kilowatt hours of electricity and 111 cubic feet of natural gas per square foot. That's about 2.5 times more energy used in other types of commercial buildings. Since restaurants typically have very narrow profit margins, reining in on your utility bill could have a significant impact on your profits. Because let's face it, heavy energy use equals high energy bills. According to one study, restaurants in the U.S. spend an average of $2.90 per square foot on electricity and 85 cents per square foot on natural gas annually, which breaks down to about 3% to 5% of your restaurant's overall operating costs. Let's take that information and crunch some numbers. Industry experts agree that if your energy costs are higher than 5%, you need to take steps to lower your utility bill. If you're working on a budget to open a new restaurant, consider that your overall costs will fall somewhere in the range of $275,000 to $450,000, depending on the type of restaurant, according to the financial and marketing services firm Rewards Network. After you take care of the big expenses like construction build-out and equipment purchases, about 20% of your budget will be left to pay for everything else, including utilities, insurance, rent, furniture, permits, signage, and more. For utilities, you'll want to factor in any deposits that are due when you start your electricity, gas, and water service, as well as the first month of use. Take a look at your profit and loss statement, and you'll see that your utilities are a variable expense that changes from one month to the next. Once you've been in operation for a while, you will start to recognize trends in usage and cost, which can help you fine-tune your energy costs. As I mentioned earlier, industry experts agree that if your energy costs are higher than 5%, you need to take steps to lower your utility bill. To find ways to save, you may want to initiate an energy audit through your local utility company, a state agency, or through a third-party company. But before you do that, let's dive deeper into some suggestions for saving money on utilities. First, let's talk about electricity. Utilities such as water, phone, and internet access should be relatively fixed costs over time. Your time will be better spent examining more variable utilities such as electricity, which rises and falls depending on seasonal needs, air conditioning, and heating needs. Gas or oil may also fluctuate in price, depending on what the international markets are doing. And while you can't control the weather or the world market, there are some short and long-term things you can do to make sure you're using energy efficiently in your restaurant. Not only will you feel good about helping the environment, you'll also feel good about protecting your bottom line. One study found that achieving just a 20% reduction in energy costs will translate directly into an additional 1% in profit. Now, I'm going to break things down into greater detail and share 5 ways you can start cutting your utility bills right now. Strategy number 1. Improve your lighting. Lights are typically on for anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day in a restaurant, so making them more efficient will lower your electric bill. Here are some ways to conserve electricity while you keep your restaurant well lit. Keep your bulbs and light fixtures clean. This will allow them to work properly and shine as brightly as possible. If natural sunlight is available, dim the lights wherever you can. Switch to compact fluorescent light bulbs, or CFL, throughout your restaurant, including inside your walk-in refrigerators or under kitchen ventilation hoods. One restaurant owner replaced 20 100-watt bulbs with CFLs and helped the restaurant save more than $400 per year. Install light switches with occupancy sensors in rooms that are used occasionally, such as bathrooms, walk-in coolers, and other storage areas. And use signs with LED lights as opposed to those with incandescent bulbs. While incandescent bulbs would use 40 watts to illuminate exit signs and menu boards, LEDs use only 5 watts to generate the same amount of light. Strategy number 2. Keep an off-hour schedule. Keep this number in mind. For every 1,000 kilowatts that you can save by turning things off or down, $100 will be cut on your utility bill. Lights, ventilation fans, and other equipment in restaurants frequently get left running even though the restaurant is closed for the night. Make sure energy is not being wasted in your off hours by use a programmable thermostat to lower your heat or AC use when the restaurant is closed. Assign a staff member the responsibility for turning off cooking equipment, exhaust fans, lights, computers, and other back-office equipment after the last shift. And post checklists next to key pieces of equipment to remind operators about low-energy settings and when to set them. Strategy number 3. Make sure all filters are clean. You should regularly change the filters in everything, from your water filtration system to your HVAC, to ensure the equipment doesn't have to draw more energy to work effectively. For your HVAC system, you may need to change the filters more than once a month if your restaurant is located next to a highway or construction site, where the air can be much dirtier. When your water is not properly filtered, equipment can be less energy efficient due to calcification buildup and mineral deposits in the pipes and lines. So make sure your filtration system's filters are always clean. Strategy number 4. Keep a close eye on your monthly water costs. Like electricity and gas, water is a variable expense, so your water costs can depend on external factors beyond your control. But here are some ways you can lower your water costs regardless of what's going on in the marketplace. Make sure you don't have any hot water leaks. Such leaks can add up to hundreds of wasted dollars over the year. Install low-flow aerators, which can reduce the hot water used by each hand sink by 60%. Install a high-efficiency pre-rinse spray valve in your dish room. Traditional sprayers use 3 to 4 gallons of hot water per minute. High-efficiency valves use much less. This simple switch can save you $300 to $350 a year in water, sewer, and natural gas costs. Strategy number 5. Keep restaurant temperatures comfortable. Keep rooms with large windows cool by applying a clear, heat-rejecting window film. This will cut down on air conditioning costs while still making your dining room more comfortable. Install ceiling fans to help circulate the air and keep patrons cool. Remember to turn off patio heaters when the patio is empty. If your refrigerator and freezer doors aren't closing or sealing properly, the equipment will run continually to maintain the proper temperature. To prevent this, inspect refrigerator and freezer doors to make sure they are aligned properly. Replace all worn gaskets. Check that your automatic door closers are functioning. And install or repair strip curtains for walk-in refrigerators. Strip curtains can cut outside air infiltration by about 75%, which will help keep things much cooler and help your refrigerator work less hard. The strategies we just talked about are great short-term ways to start conserving energy right away. Let's look at 3 more far-reaching and strategic optimizations you can make to help save energy over the long term. 1. The first optimization. Replace outdated equipment. Kitchen equipment that's 10 years old or older could be a significant source of energy waste in your operation. Wherever possible, upgrade to Energy Star equipment. It has been certified by a government-backed labeling program to identify appliances and electronics that have superior energy efficiency. These models may have a higher price tag, but the savings in utility costs will make up for the price difference in no time. Make strategic Energy Star purchases. Choose convection ovens, water heaters, and refrigerators, which will give you the best reduction in natural gas use. According to Energy Star, investing in a commercial Energy Star appliances can result in an average energy savings of 30%. 2. The second optimization. Use smarter equipment. High-efficiency cooking equipment such as induction cookware and light wave ovens can be 15 to 30% more energy efficient than standard equipment. Here are some other smart equipment ideas. Install energy-efficient hand dryers that don't use heating elements in your bathrooms. Install evaporator fan controllers in walk-in coolers. Many coolers often have forced circulation evaporators with motorized propeller fans that run twice as often as they need to. These controllers can reduce that fan use. Choose smart vent hoods. These hoods use a photoelectric smoke or heat detector to determine the velocity and energy use of the exhaust fan. While this technology is not cheap, most operators find that they make up the cost in energy savings in a year or 2. 3. The third optimization. Train your staff on energy use. Recruit your staff to help save energy. give them training, and follow-up training on reducing energy waste. Let's look at training staff how to efficiently run a restaurant steamer, which uses a lot of energy, for example. When users are trained in energy-saving best practices such as closing the door and using the timer, a restaurant can save $250 to $350 in annual energy costs just on that one piece of equipment. Here's another great example of good energy training in action. The restaurant chain Sherry's Cafe and Pies instituted a standard startup and shutdown schedule for all of their equipment. It has resulted in $4,145 in energy savings in each of their 100 locations. That's over $400,000 in energy savings a year. Depending on your particular restaurant and the energy challenges it faces, you may need to take more advanced action and get some energy experts involved. Let's discuss some of those options. Energy management and regulation can be more complicated than simply turning down thermostats and upgrading equipment. For more complex problem solving, your operation may be a good candidate for commissioning. This is a process in which engineers verify and document your building's energy-related systems to ensure they're designed, installed, and calibrated properly. Commissioning usually costs between 5 and 40 cents per square foot, but it can result in energy savings of 15% on average, according to a study by Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. Check Energy Star's directory of programs that offer commissioning to find one near you. You may also want to invest in some more advanced energy management technologies. Among emerging restaurant software like scheduling software and web-based POS systems, there's also software that can give restaurant operators detailed analysis of their energy use. A good energy management system, or EMS, monitors spikes in utility consumption and alerts managers. Managers can then either address sudden spikes immediately, like checking to see if someone left the cooler door open, or they can address their rising energy use patterns with more oversight or training. A good EMS may also allow users to remotely control HVAC systems to prevent overnight heating or cooling mistakes. Energy management systems also give managers the oversight power to see if staff is sticking their restaurant's energy use best practices. You may also be able to take advantage of energy deregulation in your state to help control costs. In the 17 states where energy markets have been deregulated, restaurant owners have the ability to shop around for utility providers. The competition may help you find lower rates for gas and electricity. Check the Save on Energy website to find out if your location is in a deregulated market. You can find that at saveoneenergy.com/state-information. So there you have it. We've covered a lot of ways you can keep your energy costs under control, and I recommend you use as many as possible. Profitable and thriving restaurants keep utility costs under 5% of their total operating costs. Some restaurants may only need to switch to more efficient light bulbs or update key pieces of equipment to Energy Star models. Other restaurants may have to bring in a team of engineers to assess the total energy picture of the building. Restaurant chains may need to come up with energy-saving protocols for all of their locations and train staff to follow them. Energy efficiency, expertise, and technology have come a long way in recent years, so there is no reason any restaurant operator should let dollars leak out of the restaurants due to poor energy management habits. To get more in-depth information about energy management and other cost-saving strategies for your restaurant, check out our ultimate guide to restaurant costs at 7shifts.com/blog/restaurant-costs. Good luck, and I'll be back soon with more restaurant industry tips and tricks.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the 7 Shifts audio series. To listen to more great content for restaurateurs, check out 7shifts.com/blog. Or to learn more about how 7 Shifts can simplify labor management in your restaurant, visit 7shifts.com.